Good morning. My name is Louise. I am the editor of Drone Professional 1. This book came out earlier this year. It's a bestseller on Amazon. It features 16 professional drone experts from around the world giving their current best thinking on the drone technology, best practice, describing their case studies of applications in the fields or in conservation, drone design, software design, and some other things. And it's a really interesting read. I have one of those authors with me today. It's Janna Rubin from Aerobotics. How's it?
Hi, Louise. Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. We're just going to have a chat over a coffee about your chapter. Yeah, if I may start, what do you do? What's your background?
So I'm the content manager at Aerobotics, and my background is in social media, content writing. I went to UCT where I majored in English literature and media studies, and I went on to do a postgraduate degree in media theory and research. And I am currently managing and working with all the online digital content for Aerobotics, whether that be email marketing or social media or the blog. And yeah, I'm a creative in the marketing team.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool, actually. But what does Aerobotics do? Rather hear it from you than me.
So Aerobotics is a farm management solution company. We work with aerial imagery, so from drones and satellites, and it ties in with our machine learning algorithms, our artificial intelligence, and the data we get from our aerial imagery informs the algorithms, and we essentially offer farm management tools to farmers and to crop insurers in America, so to our clients. And these tools allow our clients to make data-driven decisions on the farm. And yeah, it informs the farming process. We offer alerts for early stage alerts for pests and diseases. We show tree health, canopy area, and it's all available on your desktop. And this ties in with our mobile app. So you have this data, you can see your alerts and your missing trees and everything. And you can create a scout route on your computer and carry this out using your mobile phone. So a farmer can create the route, a scout can take the phone into the farm and follow the route, and at each marker laid out on the computer, he can visit each tree or each area and take pictures and leave notes. So it's essentially an end-to-end farm management system. And that's basically in a nutshell. We have various products and product features, and we're constantly innovating new ways to improve the farming or agriculture industry.
Wow, I mean, that's a really important tool. I mean, it interested me too, you know, the sort of precision farming, the sustainable food production sort of goals. How did you get into this? What attracted you to the industry?
Yeah, so if you had told me about a year and a half ago that I'd be working in the ag tech industry, I would have been like, no, how is that possible given where I currently am now? So my background is more in food, lifestyle, fashion, that kind of thing. I worked at an agency and I worked for online magazines. And I was looking around, I just wanted something more inspiring, like not just the traditional advertising that we see, just, you know, like bashing out ads all the time. And I actually had, or have some friends that were still friends that work at Aerobotics, and I found out about the company via them. And I was like, that's interesting, but tech, I don't really know so much here. And the more I looked into it and the more I spoke to people that work at Aerobotics, I just became fascinated and really inspired by what the company does. And my mom once told me that you develop passion over time, and that's 100% what happened for me. I love being part of a company that services such an important industry. I mean, the backbone of our society, of any society. And yeah, with population numbers increasing, it just feels it's really inspiring, and it's just great to be part of an industry or part of a company that's developing intelligent tools to feed the world, as we say.
Yeah, no, it is something that just seems to be so common in this industry, is the passion, is the drive to change, to make things better, and to use technology in a particular way. And what you're describing there, I mean, you know, sort of pest detection, using your software, or using drone imagery with your software, and as you say, with the intelligent analytical processes and stuff. I mean, it must be, you must see all sorts of benefits that are coming out of this. I'm sort of jumping ahead with the questions I was going to ask you, but I mean, you must
be flow naturally.
Yeah, well, exactly, that's it. But I mean, the sort of benefits you must be seeing. I mean, maybe name a couple. What are you seeing that's changing farmers' lives as much as changing food production?
Well, of course, being able to detect pests and diseases and anomalies in the farm at their early stages is a massive benefit, because it allows farmers and it allows our clients to intervene before problems spread and before they cause more real and expensive damage. So that's a huge benefit, and farmers around the world are seeing the benefits and returns of this technology. And yeah, just having that eye in the sky with the drone and having all of your farm data come directly to your computer just gives you a different vantage point and allows you to see things that you might not otherwise see with the naked eye. Yeah.
I see you also sort of tie your imagery in with the satellite data as well. So it's not just the information that's coming from the drone. There's bringing in, as well as past season information as well. It really is trying to give a bigger picture for the farmer to make the right decisions at the right time.
Exactly. Because I mean, we know that in farming, timing is everything. So having those alerts, having that information, and being able to intervene and take action at the right time and place is crucial for our clients. And our tech team and our product team, they're constantly working on new innovations and new ways to help farmers. Everything is done with our clients in mind, and what do they need, and where's a pain point along their process? How can we make things faster? How can we save more time? Yeah, that's basically the foundation of every decision that's made and everything that we work on.
Okay. I mean, there was something that you mentioned in the book that's sort of coming soon, and it's now arrived. It was the yield estimation feature. That sounds interesting. It must be powerful.
The yield estimation product was a massive launch, because it's an industry first, and it's such an amazing and useful tool. And it's taken off in South Africa, and it's taken off in the US, and we've actually since been working on yield estimation for blueberries, so moving into other crops. And it essentially allows farmers to see what their fruit is going to look like ahead of the harvest season. So it informs them on fruit size and color distribution, and this allows them this informs their marketing and pack house decisions. It's seeing your end product before your product has arrived. So you can imagine how valuable this is.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can work out the workforce that you need and all the equipment to get your product from one space to another, that must be enormously beneficial.
Yeah. Exactly. And if you have this data ahead of time, you can, I mean, once again, I keep using the word intervene, but when you can see what trajectory your crops are on, And if it's maybe not to your liking, or you need to tweak things or make improvements, when you have this data, it's powerful in that you can then make changes and intervene so that the outcome can look different.
Okay. Going back to the order of the questions that I did have, I mean, just sort of your chapter was entitled a garage innovation that took flight. I mean, you really set the story for how this Aerobotics was born and evolved. What are some of the key points
in my story?
Oh,
well, so when you approached me to write this chapter, it's so interesting working for a company where you're not directly part of the core offering. So I'm not a data scientist. I'm not a software developer by any stretch. I'm the storyteller within the company, and what I do is write, and I can tell a story. So for writing this chapter, I thought, well, you know, the co-founders of Aerobotics, James Patterson and Benji Meltzer, like, there's an amazing story. What these guys have done is so impressive, and they're such trailblazers and so smart with such amazing backgrounds at MIT. I thought, let's tell this story. And I decided to put a spin on it because, you know, you have all these tech innovations that happened in a garage. Like, I think it was Apple and Amazon or Microsoft. And this was also formulated in a garage or at home. So I positioned it as another garage-born innovation. And I just wanted to tell that story with how they studied together, went their own routes, came back together, and how they've built this amazing company and gone on to win so many awards and secure funding. And we have amazing partners around the world. We've done event road shows, and starting in Cape Town and expanding to the US market, where obviously agriculture is just another ball game altogether. I just think that's amazing. And that's a story that I wanted to tell for the chapter.
Well, it's an incredible story. And I mean, it's really inspiring because, I mean, you know, the drone industry isn't all about the drone, which it can so easily be thought of. There are multiple different types of disciplines involved. And, you know, reading about how this idea came about, because one of the chaps has a farm, you know, a family farm, and it was just trying to solve that solution on the farm, and how this has grown beyond that. It's a really good story for people to read, because there are other ways that people can develop their own software for similar sort of benefits and changing traditional methods of things, but for the better. So no, I really like the story.
Thank you. 100%.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a key point, and that's how some of the best innovations start, right? You see a problem and something that is usually close to home, and you think, how can I solve this? And you have the right knowledge, the right skills, the right team. I think there's so much alchemy in a startup, in successful startups, and you've got these things, all these ingredients, and you really do need the right ingredients, and they come together and you have this amazing business cake. And
I like that, a business cake.
Love a good analogy.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that, a business cake.
Don't quote me on that. I mean, I realize this is being recorded, but can we edit that out?
No. Sorry. No, it's cool, but yeah, I think it's a great story, and you know, the fact that it's become a global thing. Ooh, who was that?
That was my mom coming to drop off masks, not realizing this is being recorded.
Oh, shame. Okay. Well, you saw it here, folks.
Well, I've got some protection over here now.
Well, that's good. No, that isn't. Jokes aside, that is important, actually. So yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, I love the fact that now that this is a global product. You know, does Aerobotics currently really focus more on orchards? But you sort of indicated there's now blueberries, but is it more of an orchard product, or are there sort of, do you know if there are grand plans to move to different types of crops and such like?
Our main focus at the moment is orchards. We provide analytics for tree crop farms and also vineyards.
Okay, all right.
That's definitely, I mean, that's what we've developed up until this point, and that's where the expertise are. But you know, we always have an eye on another innovation or on ways that we can expand and and service other farmers.
I mean, I don't know if you could, I'm just curious, you know, are there different, I don't want this to sound quite so stupid, but are there different problems on different continents? Or is it all roughly the same solution, you know, that everybody's looking to maximize their yields without spending so much money and using their resources properly? Is it the same sort of issue across each continent where people are using aerobotics? Do you know?
Yes, I think, okay, well, I mean, obviously I gave that disclaimer that I'm not directly involved in the technology and not as on the ground as other people in the company. But from my understanding, yes, I mean, farmers around the world, I think the golden thread is that all of our clients want to optimize their crop production. They want to improve, they want to optimize their system, and yeah, I'd say it is pretty standard around the world. Obviously, there's different factors at play. In one region, you might have more issues with droughts. The seasons are different, of course, and depending on the weather and the different environmental factors in that region, different problems can come to play. But of course, our offering and our product is unique per client, and we have an amazing client success team that deals one-on-one with the clients and finds out what their unique needs are and how we can cater to that. And if it isn't something we already offer, then it's feedback and how can we integrate that into our solution.
Okay, I think that's important because, I mean, I think, you know, farmers need to know that you're doing what they want you to do and equally get involved with them. You don't just walk onto a farm and say, hey, I'm going to do this. You need to engage with the farmer and get the right relationship going, I think.
I mean, before we even start working together, it's not just like a sign up for our platform and let's, you know, it's not like just download the app. There's first this conversation, there's a person, there's a point of contact. We have someone that our clients can speak to in every region. And through that conversation, our team will find out what are your pain points and what do you need specifically. And then that's feedback. And, you know, it's a personable relationship.
Okay. I'm just curious, have you had a chance to fly a drone?
I haven't. Oh, actually, I did fly a drone. I'm lying.
Okay.
We actually went to Clan William, to Citrusdale to stay at James's farm, and we did a whole like photo shoot there. Beautiful, large citrus orchards, and we did a whole shoot there. And while we were taking pictures of the drones and the drone amongst the trees, I managed to get a chance to fly the drone, and it's actually surprisingly easy. I mean, these
Yes.
things are expensive. You can imagine I was a little bit like, I don't know, don't give that to me. Like, I'm not an expert. And then as soon as I had it in my hand, I was like, oh, okay, so this is essentially just like an up-down. I mean, we work with DJI drones. I can't speak for other
Yes.
drones. And yeah, it's just like an up-down, left-right mechanism. It reminded me of a Game Boy. It's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how it moves. It's very like linear. It's literally like like just very robotic. It's not just like flying around.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at some of the drone racing skills that people have, that's a completely different level. And those are different types of drones anyway, that when you watch these guys and girls flip these things around obstacles at great speed. But yeah, I mean,
that would fascinate me now that maybe not so much before. I would love to see that.
Oh,
I'm flown them myself.
People are earning enormous amounts of money winning drone racing competitions. I think some young lad, I think it was last year, Middle East, there was a competition, and I can't remember if he won $250,000 or $1 million. It was one or the other. But I mean, you know, an incredible skill. And this chap was 12 or 14 or something, I think. I stand to be corrected. But
so cool.
It's some seriously impressive flying skills when you have drone racing.
Amazing.
Maybe
that could maybe be in the pipeline for me.
Say again?
I said that could be in the pipeline for me.
There you go. There you go.
I was pretty good at flying the one that I did fly, so sky's the limit, right?
Absolutely. Well, we'll have a Zoom chat in a couple of months' time, and I'll ask you how you're doing.
Well, now I'm actually a professional racing drone pilot. I know I was a content manager, but that's in the past.
Exactly.
Now.
Well, anything's possible in these changing times at the moment, which sort of, kind of leads me to the next sort of question. How is COVID-19, how has Aerobotics perhaps adapted to it, or how do you see COVID-19 has affected the industry from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, and we're in such unprecedented times now, and it's been so interesting to see, like, obviously as someone that's so active online, I'm constantly on the pulse of what brands are doing and how companies are innovating around the limitations we have. And I think almost every industry has been affected, if not every industry, and companies are changing their business models. And for Aerobotics, since we are servicing an essential service around the world, it's become, what we do has become even more important now, because through drone technology and our apps, we're effectively a social distancing tool. So drone pilots, I mean, obviously with keeping in regulation of different countries, but in general, drone pilots are still able to visit farms. They don't need any human interaction. All they need is just to have the gate open for them so they can come in. So they're still able to visit the farm. They carry out their drone flight, and the farmer or our client is receiving all their data and all their farm information to their computer, and they don't even need to go out. And they don't even need to leave the house. And then they can assign a scout route. They can work with their team. You can have your whole team on AeroView, and you can manage your users. It's really amazing. And they can manage their team and work together remotely via the app.
Okay.
So we already have that system in place to work while being socially distant and while being remotely. And scouting, you know, that's something you can do on your own, on your phone. So yeah, we essentially offer a way for farmers to continue operations in a way that's safer and healthier, given the pandemic that we're in.
Okay, well, that's good. So in some ways, it's almost business as usual to a certain degree, because you've already got the systems in place to enable the service to carry on, you know, as you say, with the necessary precautions. Yeah.
Yeah, to a
Okay.
degree, and of course, keeping in line with the precautions in each country.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Mm.
I'm just trying to, I'm just looking at my notes here. Is there anything else that you felt you covered in your chapter that you'd like to just raise, you know, about the story that you were telling and the story of the founders? Is there anything else, or about Aerobotics that you kind of want to sort of comment on, about the benefits perhaps, or?
Let me think. Trying to think of something offhand. No, I think it's just, yeah, I think I just on the topic of how we're changing and shifting in the time of the coronavirus. It's just really like a crazy experience being alive and working during this time and seeing things shift and move more online. And, you know, someone that works with social media and digital marketing, I mean, my life, my career has always been digital and online, and how this is something that's increasingly important now, and how we can use the platforms that we have. I mean, like the Zoom call, for example, and change the experience that we offer for our clients, or offer them more value with the online tools that we have in our arsenal. For example, we have Zoom webinars. I mean, because usually we have a lot of events and we have a lot of one-on-one meetings, and now everything's moved online, and we have webinars where we're still like speaking about our solutions and new app updates and that kind of thing, and it's still interactive. And, you know, being engaging on social media. You can follow us on our social media platforms. We're Aerobotics on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And yeah, just keeping people in the loop and keeping the engagement up that way. Yeah, I think
letting everybody you're still out there, yeah, and that you can help. It's an important message. Yeah. Okay. No, I think it's fantastic what Aerobotics is doing. You know, creating more food more efficiently is absolutely critical. You know, and I think it's great that there is a system out there to enable that. And it's a great success story to actually read about and to see. And I've been following Aerobotics for a couple of years anyway. So it's neat to watch how it's evolving as well.
Yeah. We could have the same interview in a month's time and we could have 100 new things to talk about.
I'm sure, yeah, absolutely. And you know, the success stories, it's great to see that you need to see the success stories, because everybody says, oh, this is brilliant, but you need to actually see it in working, you know, how it works, and the results, the return on investment, as they say. So it's useful to do that or read that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. It must be quite satisfying actually writing all the content where you get to pass on the sort of positives that are coming out of this.
Yeah. No, it really is. Like, it's so amazing to be in an industry that is, I mean, always important, but even more so important now. People stuck at home, and you really feel like you're being of service. And yeah, it's always been a key part of what we do, and being of service to clients and farmers and improving their daily operations. And during like a time that's so difficult and crazy, being able to help people in small and big ways and help them continue their businesses and keep people fed while they're stuck at home, it's even more rewarding. I'm really, yeah, it's really rewarding work.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. How does someone get hold of you if they want to talk to you directly, or if they want to find out about Aerobotics?
Cool. Yeah, so you can email me directly at jan@aerobotics.com. You can visit our website at aerobotics.com. And we also have our support email, support@aerobotics.com. And yeah, you can feel free to directly message us on any of our social media platforms and I'll respond to you.
Okay, great. I will add those. Say again, sorry?
No, I said under the name Aerobotics, but it's probably me.
Sure. Okay, no, I'll put those links with the description with the video and on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for your time. As I said, I think it's a really interesting chapter explaining how someone, how a software platform that has become incredibly important evolved, and sort of setting the context for where it's going as well. So it was a really neat chapter. Thank you very much for talking to me. It's interesting to find out your background. Yeah, cool. I shall just sign off with the audience and just say thank you very much for watching. There will be a couple more videos still to come from some of the other authors as well, but Drone Professional 1 is available on Kindle and in paperback format on Amazon. It is an interesting read. If you're interested in the industry, if you're not sure about it, if you just want to see different ways in which technology and people can get involved in making a difference and changing things, and this is a book to have a look at. So thanks again, and yeah, I'll keep well and keep safe. Cheers.